We never know where our road is going to go. I said that over the weekend when I attended a celebration of life for someone who meant a lot to me in many ways, someone who continues to mean a lot to me even as she no longer exists in tangible form. Something about the energy and essence of her lingers. There's emotion that easily rises within me when I think about her. And over the weekend, I just let the tears fall, listening to people speak, bearing witness to such beautiful and amazing people who showed up. It was in Sonoma on a beautiful day. And I'm thinking about how all of our roads will lead to an end. And who walks beside us? Who fills sort of the empty space where we once were? Do you have someone in your life who truly walks beside you, who can hold and bear witness to whatever you may be going through? It doesn't have to be sort of this impending loss. It doesn't have to be a diagnosis, but just a hardship, confusion, heartbreak, uncertainty. Who walks beside you? I meet a lot of people and I see, unfortunately, regularly or often, how many people do not have anyone. And of course, everyone has a story as to why that is. Sometimes it's bridges burned, estranged relationships, maybe substance abuse. Other times they've outlived everyone. And something about outliving so many people led to them not extending themselves to anyone else. Because, loss has a way of doing that. It has a way of bringing us more within. We become more internal. We go within as opposed to without, dwelling in the exterior. Because to do that is to open ourselves to potential hurt, heartbreak, loss, fears. All of those things happen when we extend our reach. To love is to grieve. And when I think about this person who has left an imprint upon my heart, I think about the people who knew her from college days. I think about her husband and her children and what it must be like for them to enter their home where once upon a time there were 4 of them and now there are 3. Life is something, isn't it? And as we not know where it is that our road will go, how are we walking it? How are we living? I want to be more and more and more mindful, to always cultivate the energy of mindfulness around the presence of my life, how I'm showing up for myself, for my partner, for those who mean something to me, how I'm showing up just in my own life in terms of the activities I'm engaged in, the creative projects, the conversations, this podcast. Because when I leave, if I am fortunate enough to know, then if I reflect over the years of my life, what will I say to myself? Well done. That I lived a life where the time was well spent. Will there be things that I regret? And if so, how do we live in a way where that doesn't happen in the future? How might we stop postponing and just be more present in the now? Because whether it's a funeral or a celebration of life on a beautiful day in Sonoma, it will all reach that place where someone is considering us, someone is thinking of us. Even if we don't know it, even if we feel isolated or withdrawn or maybe a loner, what have you, someone somewhere is going to see the loss, going to see how we once were and we are no longer. So how do we live a life where there's really more meaning, where we're not regretting, where we can reflect on our time and say, it wasn't a perfect life, but it was a meaningful life. I wasn't a perfect person, but I was a good person, a generous person. Because if we were to exit now, if our road was ending today, how would we leave things? And I've asked that before. How would we leave it? How would we leave this life? And being gathered there in Sonoma, surrounded by all of those people whose faces were wet with tears, mine included, mascara sort of smudging faces, red noses, and then the laughter and the hugs and the meaningful conversations where I could connect, I could pour into people, they could connect, they could pour into me, and being there with my partner who truly is the most important person to me, and us sharing this very tender moment, knowing one day. And she said to me, my partner, she shared with me after I spoke that she would want to die first so that I could speak. Now, I often say she's being tragic, even as I am continuously talking about death. But there was something about that moment to really pause and know she's right. Someone will go first. And either I or she will remain. And so even inside of my relationship, how am I practicing relating? How am I showing up? My heart, am I loving well? All of those things. When people pass away, when people die, if we are open, it can really crack us even wider to ponder these things, with the hope that we become richer for it. May her death make us all richer. Because every person who stood there, whether they spoke or not, is a reflection of who she was and who the essence and energy of her continues to be. And my, oh my, that's beautiful. And I want to plant a seed, invite us to make sure that we're living from that place before someone dies. Make sure that, as they say, give them their flowers while they are alive. May people know how much they mean to us while they are alive and well. and can absorb it like a sponge, take it in. That our adoration or admiration becomes food for their soil, becomes inspiration for their creativity, becomes the food that feeds and energizes them to continue on. May we all have that, and may we give it. So today I really want to honor her. I want to honor Lee. They say her name, say my name, say the name. I honor Lee today. Well done. Her life was time well spent. And all that the cancer did to her body did not in any way erase her soul and her essence and the gift of her. May that energy float about her husband and her children when they find themselves in the quiet and the tears fall and the pain of grief sweeps over them. May they breathe in the essence and energy of their mother, because she always is. They carry her DNA. May her husband know the fullness of her love and her heart. And in the quiet, may he too be held. May he too be comforted. And you, may you be held and comforted in any moment when you find yourself at a crossroads, navigating something hard or bearing witness to another. Navigate a hard thing. You are not alone. There's always someone walking beside you.